blood is us on our best behavior, is what I always teach people. Our blood is so important that our body will pull nutrients, believe it or not. Imagine your liver and other organs. It'll actually pull nutrients from those organs to make sure your blood is healthy.
Entrepreneurs, maybe you're not an athlete or things like that. I mean, as you're working hard, you're trying to build your company, trying to spend time, with your family. What are kind of some of those like signs that we, may need, extra supplementation or things like that? Because we think we're eating organic and, healthy and all. But I mean, obviously, I know you mentioned kind of like rundown or brain fog, as you mentioned that you had. So what are some other things that you found?
Yeah. Mood, I would say, is another. Like, are you just like very monotone in your mood?
Okay.
That's a sign. That's like a creeping sign. Are you waking up multiple times? Do you struggle with anxiety? Have you sort of normalized anxiety? I'll tell you a quick story. So my friend Tara Garrison, who's a great follow on Instagram, she puts out incredible content with her, working out, mindset, super, super tough chick. She can squat more than most guys, run 6-minute miles, has 4 kids, and then it looks amazing. And mindset's bulletproof. When I looked at her hair analysis back when I was still doing it, before we had a team of nutritionists that help people through their results.
Sure.
I said, Tara, I've got some bad news. I was like, you probably don't remember your dreams, do you? So this is another sign. And she said, yeah, she's like, I haven't really dreamed in 5 years or so. And, anytime someone has, is giving birth, they're obviously putting out a lot of nutrients, and you have to recover that. So
right.
Women that are looking to get pregnant, actually even guys too, men should be taking a view in infertility too, because you can boost sperm quality.
Okay.
Magnesium, zinc, there's different things that guys should be taking that frankly I haven't heard anyone talk about. Different topic, but as it relates to this, she was saying, and symptoms, she was saying after, she said, it's been about a month now, and my deep sleep has improved dramatically, probably to the tune of 25% or so, using Oura Ring or Whoop, whatever she is using.
Yeah. And
she said the thing that is at least as important, or maybe more important, is, she said, I just was used to willing myself to wake up early in the morning, 4:35, and thinking it's this tough for everybody. And she said, it isn't. She said, it really isn't. And she said, I know that now. And she said, I think I knew that at some point, but it was such a gradual degradation. She said that I'm just super thankful that I feel as good as I do now, because I can go out and do all the fun things. She's like, lift hard and be a successful entrepreneur and all these things. She just put a book out that's in every Costco. She's done a lot in the last couple of years, and runs marathons, all these different things. And we work with a lot of high performers. And I think when you're used to performing at a high level, your mindset's so good that you just think, oh, it's just me, total ownership. It's just me. I don't need any help. I'll do it all myself. And if it's tough, I'll just figure out a way to do it. Well, figuring out a way to do it may be taking a step back and going, how can I do it better? How can I sharpen the axe instead of just spend more time chopping on the tree? So that's very much how I look at life, and how I approach things is, how do I maximize my ability to enjoy life and build a successful company and help a lot of people? So in other words, goals. How do I really maximize my ability to achieve the things I care about, and have clarity on whether or not they're even worth pursuing? And you need to know, if you're not testing, you're guessing. So one of our Yeah, one of the things we trademarked is Josh is test, don't guess. Test, comma, don't guess. And I realized in talking to so many of my smart, health optimizing friends that they're not testing. And I just say to people, like, if you want to call yourself a biohacker, or if you think that you're really dialed in, if you're not testing and you're just spending hundreds of dollars every month on supplements, then you're definitely leaving a lot on the table. And that results in, when you look back, 5 years, 10 years from now, if you don't do anything different, there's a lot of achieving that you could have done and a lot less grinding that you would have had to do.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. And I mean, I know I always kind of, I test at some point, and then it's like, forget to go back and maybe do it again, 4 or 5 years go by and you've had a lot change, during that time. And it's like, oh wait, man, now you mention it, it's been a little while before I've tested like any of that stuff. And so, I think, constantly, being able to test and optimize is super important, because like you said, then you may end up being out of balance. You may, end up, as your life changes and, certain things change, you might need something different and everything as well. So, that's, super important to know where you are and, what your baseline and stuff is, so you know where to go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, it really, really is. That's why we made testing so easy for people. A lot of people, even if they have tattoos, they don't like needles. I don't like giving blood. I do it every 2 or 3 months, but I don't like it ever. I'm like, oh God, here we go.
Right.
I just hit that override button in my mind somewhere that's just like, well, guess what? We're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And, and an out of self-love, like you're doing it, and giving blood helps people, and it helps you get rid of heavy metals too. So it's a win-win. And there's a lot of blood shortages, but knowing that hair is way more accurate than blood for minerals and heavy metals anyway, and it's more cost effective, and it's a lot easier. It's a lot less invasive, because blood's a day's worth of data, and an inch of hair is like 8 weeks of data. So I test mine every 2 to 3 months, and that's why we have this. As far as staying on track, we one of the first things we did was offer that on subscription, so that people could stay locked in. They'll do it if it just shows up, but a lot of people won't remember otherwise.
And then, so you're saying then every like 60 to 90 days, kind of set it up to where then you're doing a hair analysis, so you can see, and then optimize based on any changes during that time frame.
Yeah, and I mean, we offer 60, and I think that's more for like people that are obsessed like me. But 90 days is like just good hygiene, really. And 4 times a year, it's very affordable. You can do that for under $1,000. So if you did that for just blood, it would be like, I don't know, $2,500 or so.
Yeah.
Once. And that'd just be once, and it wouldn't be as accurate, because blood is us on our best behavior, is what I always teach people. Our blood is so important that our body will pull nutrients, believe it or not. Imagine your liver and other organs. It'll actually pull nutrients from those organs to make sure your blood is healthy. So if you go out drinking, or if someone, just any number of things that mess up your blood pH, your body will actually pull from bone marrow or organs. So you wonder how so many people have osteoporosis and osteopenia later in life. That's how. And then those heavy metals go in to these open spots, and they plug into your thing. I mean, even your bones. So then you get more brittle, because heavy metals like cadmium, they're brittle by nature. So it's from an anti-aging and longevity approach, it's also really good. But just as importantly, like brain function, sleep, all those things. So it's not the only thing someone should do for their test, but no matter what else you're doing, you could be spending 10 grand a month on stem cells and all sorts of different things with, extreme medical supervision. And if you're not doing this, you're still missing some stuff, because it's an elemental world, and
for sure,
pretty important. So, yeah.
Awesome. Guys, hope you guys were taking notes. Listen to what Barton's talking about. I mean, as entrepreneurs or athletes, or just, whether we have a family or we're that hard charger, work until 1 a.m. and we got to understand our health and take care of our health. I mean, so we're going to be that way. We can be there for whether it's our business, whether it's our family, or just for us, and understanding and knowing what, what's going on. If we're experiencing, issues, don't just push it off. It's not, that brain fog might not just be that daily brain fog. It's like, hey, there may be something else going on, and there's something else underlying. So take some notes, go back, listen, watch this again. Where can people get more information about upgraded formulas and you and everything?
Sure. The website's a great place to start. You can find us on social too, on Instagram, Upgraded Formulas, or Ask Barton on Instagram. But website's the best place. And then if you want, I can hook everybody up with a discount code.
Awesome.
Just because I can. Whatever, just let me know what you want that to be, and I'll make sure they have it.
Okay, yeah, guys, we'll have that down here in the notes and everything, and hit the upgradedformulas.com link right there, and you can go there and check out there. They have the testing and then the different minerals, and then the first thing you kind of suggest is getting testing done, so we know kind of where to start.
Yeah, for friends and family, I always tell them to start with the bestseller pack. I created that because I got tired of, just telling people again and again, like, what should I take? And they're like, no, really, what would you start me on? I'm like, yes, this thing. So now I can just point people. So that's a really good deal. It's a bundle, so you get a discount, and then the code will give you another discount on top of that.
Got it.
So those are like 4 products to start with, plus the test and consultation. Probably right there in the middle of the homepage if you're listening to this. So, yep. So that's it. Our upgraded memory, our upgraded magnesium for sleep. So take the magnesium in the evening before bed, like two or 3 dropperfuls.
Okay.
And you can do that to start getting quick wins, kind of what I was alluding to earlier, because that's going to support 800 different functions in the body, just magnesium alone. Problem is the magnesium you're currently taking, if you are taking it, it's not absorbing, but about 25% if you're lucky. And that's not enough to reverse a deficiency. So that's true for all the minerals. So once you reverse the deficiency, you get rid of the problem, and then you transcend, so at least that's the idea.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I really appreciate you coming on Making Bank today, Barton. Just sharing your insights and everything. Guys, make sure you guys go check out Upgraded Formulas. Understand where you are at today so you can make those necessary improvements, to improve your health, to improve your life, and everything else. So again, Barton, thank you for coming on Making Bank today.
Thank you. Such a pleasure, Josh.